What's up, guys? JP back at you once again, bringing you guys day number 30 in my 13th annual 31 Days of Horror, a series in which we watch and review 31 horror films in 31 days, all during the month of October, leading right up to Halloween. And continuing along with today's review, for day number 30, I decided to go with a film that I had never seen before. One of the few Argento things that I have not seen. And one of the few Romero things I have not seen, and if you haven't guessed by now, the film is Two Evil Eyes from the year 1990, and it is directed by George Romero and Dario Argento. This is coming to us courtesy of Blue Underground on 4K here. So yeah, this film is pretty interesting. It is an anthology film of sorts. It's really two stories, two segments. And then originally I believe that it was supposed to be 4 segments, and it was going to be John Carpenter as well as Stephen King directing a segment. But John Carpenter had scheduling conflicts, and Stephen King didn't want to direct another thing after Maximum Overdrive, I guess. Had a bad experience. But yeah, so it ended up just being George Romero and Dario Argento. And Dario Argento and George Romero worked on the Italian cut of Dawn of the Dead back in the day, so they had a bit of a relationship. Such a cool, I think, like, in hindsight, just like the fact that these two teamed up was really cool. It would have been cool to see like a few more people like Carpenter in there, but just a pretty awesome concept and idea that they did here. So basically, it's 2 segments. Both of the segments are based on Edgar Allan Poe films or stories. One being The Black Cat, which Dario Argento tackles. And the other one is, I have to look it up here because I don't remember, The Facts in the Case of M. Valdemar, which I'm not familiar with that story. But essentially the first story is the Romero story, and it is The Facts in the Case of Valdemar. And basically it follows Adrienne Barbeau's character, who is married to a very wealthy older gentleman, and she goes to his lawyer and basically says like, hey, he's really sick, he's dying, he wants to leave me all his stuff. The lawyer's a little bit hesitant at first because it's like, hey, I mean, that's kind of weird. She basically flat out admits, like, I married him for money. And he ends up talking to the Voldemort guy, and he's like, yeah, I gave her all my money. And the lawyer's like, okay, I guess I got to. But with the caveat of it's going to take about 3 weeks for everything to go through, and if anything shall happen to him in those 3 weeks, you get nothing. Then we find out that I think her name's Jill, Adrienne Barbeau's character, is actually in an affair with the guy's doctor, and their idea is to split the money. And they basically like hypnotized the elderly husband to basically do what they say. And essentially, I'll kind of leave it off there. Something happens, and then they have to figure out something else, But yeah, this segment was pretty cool. It's a classic like EC Comics type of segment. Greed and bad people doing bad things for money. So it's very typical of that type of story if you've ever seen a story like that. But it works, it's kind of creepy. Adrienne Barbeau is really good in it. I enjoyed the segment. I thought it was pretty good. And then the second segment is, I think it might be a little bit more interesting. It's based on the Black Cat. This one stars Harvey Keitel, and he is a crime scene photographer. And his girlfriend gets Annabelle, his girlfriend gets a black cat, which he doesn't like and seems to not like him. Eventually, he kills the cat and takes photographs of it. And Annabelle's all upset because she's missing the cat. They start arguing more and stuff. Eventually, she finds a book which has like the artistic images of the dead cat in the book, and she confronts him about it. He actually gets another cat that looks almost exactly alike, and he brings it home and is going to kill that one as well when she stops him, and then chaos ensues. That's basically the plot of that one. I don't want to spoil too much there on that, but it's a traditional Black Cat story with a little bit of a twist on it. I liked it. I thought Harvey Keitel was pretty good in the film. I love that it has sort of like that like paranoia and like craziness. Like he gets more and more insane as the segment goes by. I thought that was handled really well. You also have some cameos. You got Tom Atkins in here. You got Tom Savini in here, who I believe also did the effects. This film was shot in and around Pittsburgh area, which is pretty cool. You know, it's where I'm from, so I like that about it. Honestly, like, I expected this to be a little more mediocre, just because you never really hear it brought up in either the two filmmakers' filmography as like one of their better efforts. And you know, it's nowhere near their best stuff, but I think that this is a fine movie. 2 hour-long segments, runs 2 hours. I think that it's a pretty solid watch, and I enjoyed it. I give it a 7.5 out of 10. I think it's really, really good. So with that said, I will. Oh, and the transfer on this Blue Underground is, you know, awesome, man. Blue Underground has some of the best transfers, for sure. So yeah, with that said, I will see you guys next time with another one. Well, actually, tomorrow will be the last one, which is Halloween. So, see you guys for one more at least. Alright, we'll see you guys next time. Peace.